Good morning, Year 2. Before you start this video, you need to make sure that you've watched The Wolf Story, this book that I have posted the YouTube link to in the portfolio task. Now we're going to read the letter from the Big Bad Wolf that we looked at yesterday and last week. Follow along with your finger to help you. Cell number 4, Wolf Prison, the Deep Dark Woods, Berkshire. Monday, the 10th of May, 2021. Dear Year 2, I'm writing to you because I need your help. I'm in trouble, but I didn't do the things the police are saying that I did. The police are sure that I was trying to eat the little girl, but I promise you I wasn't. I was at the ancient grandma's house, kindly helping her out, but I accidentally knocked her over. Did I have another option but to pretend to be her grandma? The rude little girl excitedly marched into her grandma's house to bring her toffee, and it would have looked very suspicious if she hadn't found her grandma. I certainly would have looked bad then. Then the silly woodman would certainly have cut off more than my poor fluffy little tail. Then, to make things worse, I had a run-in with some pigs. I was trying to be nice to my own grandma, so I decided to make her a cake. But it all went very wrong. The foolish little pigs didn't understand that all I wanted was a teeny tiny cup of sugar for my grandma's birthday cake. I had caught an awful cold from Little Red Riding Hood, and I couldn't stop sneezing. However, the silly little pigs were too scared of me, so they didn't want to talk to me. Unfortunately, I accidentally blew 2 of their houses down with my gigantic sneezes. It was only then that I decided that they would make a tasty little snack. Cooking does make you very hungry, you know, and I had even forgotten to eat any breakfast. So I was just helping tidy up the mess of my huge sneezes. Sadly, the police didn't believe me when I told them my story. They knew I was the same wolf, as I was missing the end of my tail. The mean people even showed me my poor, sad, chopped-off tail. So they locked me up. Please, can you write to the police and tell them to set me free? My grandma is still waiting for her cake, and no one else is going to make it if I don't. Yours sincerely, Mr. A.T. Wolf. Our task for today is to plan a letter from Little Red Riding Hood to her mum, explaining what happened when she went to visit her grandma. So if you need help remembering what happened, you can go back and watch The Wolf Story again on YouTube. First of all, you're going to decide the address of the sender. So who is writing the letter? Who's sending the letter? Little Red Riding Hood is, so you need to write her address. You can make that up. Think about where she might live. And then we have our greeting. Who are you writing the letter to? So Little Red Riding Hood is writing it to her mum. In paragraph 1, you're going to think about where were you going? Who were you going to visit? And what were you taking with you? Remember, this is only a plan of your letter. You'll be writing the real letter tomorrow. So you're not going to write it in full sentences. You can write it either in notes or words or bullet points. And in paragraph 2, what happened when you got there? What did you do? What did Little Red Riding Hood do? And how did you feel? Again, you're not going to write this in full sentences because you'll be writing the full letter tomorrow. And finally, the sign-off. Are you going to end this letter formally? Are you going to end it with yours sincerely, like Mr. Wolf did in his letter to us? You're writing this letter to your mum. So can you think about how you might sign off a letter or card to your mum? And who's written it? Little Red Riding Hood has written the letter, so you're going to sign it off from her. In your plan, I'd really love you to include some adverbs, so some words that describe how a verb is done, and also some contractions. I'd like you to think about which adverbs and contractions you might be using in your letter when you're writing it tomorrow, and you're going to write a few words in each paragraph box to use tomorrow. Good luck. I can't wait to see these letter plans on Dojo later.